Will the recent spike in interest rates kill off the Portland real estate market? Is this the housing bubble burst that you may have heard about? Probably not. Let's take a couple minutes to look at a few key points. Right now, interest rates as we approach mid-May are in the mid to upper 5% range, depending of course on the time of day. Historically though, rates were higher, 6, 8, 10, 12 to 14%, and during those periods, housing prices tended to go up. Now they didn't do this like they've been doing the last few years, but it's important to remember that this is an anomaly, and we should never base our future predictions too much on anomalies, but look at how we go against recent trends or historical trends. And historically, rates being up here instead of here didn't kill off markets. Now it might adjust behavior, which brings me to point 2. It may not be that a rate being here changes things in and of itself, which is a point some of you may be thinking right now. But the jump from, say, 2.5, 2 3/4 last year to 5.5, 5 3/4 this year is hefty enough that that swing takes the wind out of the market. And that's a more interesting question. The challenge with that right now, though, is that we still have more demand than we do supply, with not a lot on the horizon to suggest that the housing supply problem, that the shortage gets fixed. And as long as that's the case, demand is going to outpace supply, which is going to continue to leave the market fairly competitive, and prices will continue to rise. But they will return to a, maybe not a historic level, but we will get closer to a historic level as the year goes on. Mathematicians call this regression toward the mean, meaning in time, things have a tendency to go back to normal. You can use that term next time you're watching Jeopardy! Now, the third thing to consider is that for a lot of us, anytime there's a shift in the real estate market, our minds go back to 2008, because that was ugly. Look, I was a homeowner and a realtor in 2008, so I remember it as crisply and cleanly as you do. But we're not going to get into this right now, but the circumstances today aren't like 2008. This isn't a repeat. Yes, prices did this before 2008, and prices are doing this now, but we can't take that one thing, isolate it, and say these two things must be alike. They're not. Prices back in 2008, 9 and 10, yeah, they pulled a big Humpty Dumpty, but they're not going to do that in 2022 and 2023, most likely. I can't predict what's going to happen with inflation and militaries around the world. Some of those things could have an impact, but those are outside of our control, and those aren't within the normal parameters of what goes on in an economy or a market. What we see right now is that rates should dampen price growth, which is a good thing. I mean, I get it. If you're a homeowner, it's nice to see this. But for the market health, yeah, tamping that down a little bit is going to help. Now, rates going up has had a few negative effects. Some first-time buyers have had to leave the market because they can no longer afford a monthly payment with the jump in rate. And some buyers have left at other higher price ranges because their payment's gone up enough with the change in rate, or their prospective payment's gone up enough that they just no longer want to buy because the deal isn't there the way it was before. So those are negatives. But in the market overall, what we'll see is that buyers still are going to compete for a little while longer. They won't get as crazy, and how much they're willing to spend will go down, which again will reduce appreciation rates. And that's okay. So as of right now, the jump in interest rates is tough on buyers after 2 or 3 years of already dealing with enough difficult things in the market. So for that, I'm eternally sympathetic. But it's not going to kill off the market. It's not going to burst the bubble. We still have a demand-supply problem, and until that's fixed, interest rates within reason aren't going to push us over the edge. If you have any specific questions about your home or your potential to purchase, reach out and let me know. I'd love to talk with you and get you the information you need to make a good decision, whatever it may be.